This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Wednesday, the 8th day of December in the year 2021. I'm Gordon Mosley, and here's what we're tracking tonight. Days after the union representing workers at the Guyana Power and Light Company served notice about planned protest action over salary increases, the Chief Executive Officer of GPL, Barrett Dindial, announced today that the company's current financial situation makes it unable to offer or sustain any increase in salaries at this time. During a press conference this morning, Mr. Dindial said GPL simply cannot afford any increases.
From a business standpoint, we don't have money to pay an increase. And typically, if in discussion with the ministry, the government, we come to a position where a particular increase is agreed, it has to be discussed in the context of how it's funded. And we know that 7% has been awarded to public servants, and the expectation of the unions currently is that they would get the 7%. But is it sustainable? GPL's wages are among the highest in the country.
It was explained that there is no breakdown in talks with the unions, but discussions are ongoing for a collective labor agreement. The GPL CEO said the issue of remuneration has always been a contentious sticking point in the discussions, which have been ongoing for the past 3 years.
The unions are aware that coming to the end of the year, we start discussions with them on the CLAs. We've been trying, I think, for the last 3 years to discuss a multiple-year collective labor agreement. The sticking issue has always been remuneration. They are aware that coming to the end of the year, we are this year, last year was a similar situation where we essentially don't have.
Mr. Dindial said the company has not been receiving a subsidy from the government and has been running an overdraft to ensure there is fuel to supply power. The power company CEO also said that GPL has put no offer on the table during the negotiations with the union since it cannot afford any increases. Questioned about the possibility of an end-of-year bonus, Mr. Dindial said there has been no discussion about that.
We can't afford anything. Nothing at all. By the end of this year, our deficit would be about $2.6 billion. So whatever we pay basically has to be borrowed.
In a letter to the CEO earlier this week, the workers' union NASI said it is prepared to enter into an agreement regarding the 7% across the board in scale increases without delay, given that other sectors and workers are going to receive their increases in time for the Christmas holidays. NASI said its members at GPL are highly agitated, and the company should seek to reach an agreement with the union soon, as there is a possibility of strike action. More news coming up in just a moment.
I'm feeling it! You know it? That Christmassy feeling? Friend, I'm ready for everything! All the decorations and lights, bring on all the Christmas goodness! And I heard GTT is giving away millions in cash and prizes for the season! It just doesn't get any better! Multiple draws, multiple chances to win, live radio giveaways of cash, grocery vouchers, phone credit, and more! Free data, free calls, and free accessories with the purchase of every handset. Sign up, top up, pay any GTT bill or purchase a handset to get a chance to celebrate with GTT and MMG. Together we celebrate, together we win. GTT, together we rise.
The light on your face, no mask will hide.
Feel the joy burn deep inside.
Let's have a great Christmas this year.
You, me, and Republic Bank, my dear.
Whatever you need, light up your Christmas with Republic Bank and get a chance to win $825,000 in cash prizes. Plus, get a chance to give a family a Christmas hamper in your name. Log on to republicguyana.com for more details. Let's light up Christmas.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Guyana, it's finally here! You can now shop online in Guyana using your Visa, MasterCard, or PayPal, and have the items delivered to your door within hours. Shop on Fizarro.com and never deal with the hassle of shopping again. Shop from electronics, beauty products, clothing, you name it. Fizarro, Guyana's premier e-commerce marketplace.
Combo pack up, we feeling best. Sunshine stacks above the rest. There is no contest, is the best mix, so we feeling best. Best value to how you feeling. Ole cheesy, too much ripples and more combo pack of flavors galore, yeah. Combo pack up, we feeling best. Sunshine stacks above the rest. There is no contest, is the best mix, so we feeling best. Dembe, for my whole family. Their bread is tasty. Dembe, bakery.
Baked with love and passion by our dedicated team of fine bakers, we give you Dembake. With the same great quality you're used to, we now have a slightly new look. Here in Land of Canaan, we are ready to give you even more. Don't wait until you're hungry. Reach for a slice of Dembake.
Dembe, Dembe, oh.
Dembake, healthy, wholesome living.
Mom, what are you doing with GPL on your list?
Child, you forgot I have to pay GPL?
You got time with GPL.
I have to keep these lights on. The customers who think in that manner and refuse to honor their obligation to GPL are obviously not playing their part in ensuring quality service delivery. So, I will continue to pay my GPL bill on time, every time.
I recognize the value of your point, Mom. You were right.
Mobile Delvac and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Salt Guyana Inc. Mobile Delvac and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Salt Guyana Inc.
We've got exciting news! All 12-ounce yellow cab Buster are now only $100. Buster, live in
Come
full
get
color.
your Buster, Buster $100. Dollar, come get your Buster, Buster $100. Dollar.
Let GBTI make your dreams of owning a home a reality. Buy or build your home with us. Let us help you to completely outfit your home and make it move-in ready. Need to purchase land? We finance that too. Benefit from our 10% down payment and interest rates as low as 4.25%. Calculated on the reducing balance with up to 30 years to repay. Switch your mortgage to us and learn about benefiting from the equity in your home. Invest wisely. Apply online or call your branch to schedule an appointment. GBTI. We see Guyana through your eyes.
Welcome back. The international community will mark Anti-Corruption Day tomorrow. And in a statement to mark the observance, U.S. Ambassador to Guyana, Sarah Ann Lynch, said the U.S. government is looking forward to seeing the Guyana government's initiatives to fight corruption, while noting that government operations must be transparent so that citizens and the media can provide oversight and hold officials accountable. Ambassador Lynch also noted that there should be procurement processes that comply with international anti-corruption standards, which will ensure a level playing field for investors. She said private sector actors must also answer for any role that they play in corrupt practices. And she said when choosing private sector partners, it is advisable to choose the reputable over the most convenient. The ambassador said government and institutions around the globe cannot allow corruption to flourish, noting that constructing a legislative framework that deters corrupt practices and promotes transparency is an essential step in addressing corruption. According to the U.S. ambassador, enhancing the capabilities of criminal justice institutions to investigate and prosecute corruption is also crucial to exposing malign influence. The statement from the U.S. diplomat made reference to the efforts already made by Guyana to assist in the fight against corruption. It was noted that in 2018, the Guyana Public Service Commission was reconstituted after a 13-year hiatus. In that same year, the ambassador noted the Guyana government also passed the Protected Disclosure Whistleblower Act, which seeks to protect persons making disclosures from retribution from others, including within the public service. She said those kinds of legislative reforms are necessary parts of a successful plan to fight corruption. Over the years in Guyana, there have always been concerns about corruption in government. The two main political parties have often accused each other of not doing enough to tackle corruption during their time in office. The current government is currently under fire over the absence of the Public Procurement Commission. The life of the last commission expired more than 14 months ago, and efforts are now being made by the Public Accounts Committee to get a new commission in place to overlook government contracts and procurement. As part of tomorrow's observance to mark International Anti-Corruption Day, U.S. President Joe Biden will be hosting a virtual forum for democracy. President Irfan Ali will join the forum from Guyana. Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony has announced that the Guyana Police Force is gearing up to go after persons who purchased fake vaccination cards as the health authorities look to crack down on what appears to have become a lucrative business in the health sector. A number of healthcare workers have found themselves before the courts facing charges for selling the vaccination cards to persons who are unvaccinated. On Tuesday, 2 nurses attached to the Diamond Health Center in the East Bank of the Marara and the screening personnel attached to the Ministry of Health were charged with fraud over their alleged sale of COVID-19 vaccination cards. The 3 healthcare workers were nabbed last week during a police sting operation. Now investigators intend to go after those making the purchases from the healthcare workers.
So if we get the names of the people who would have purchased such cards, the police obviously would be pursuing them, and they would be charged for obtaining a fraudulent document or a false document. So that's something that the police would be doing.
The health minister also said the issue of selling the vaccination cards remains worrying. He explained that there will be serious consequences for the healthcare workers found selling those cards.
How to put it? It's probably, we should say it's a dangerous activity that they're engaged in, because imagine somebody in possession of a fake vaccination card. If that person gets sick, come into the hospital, and they have a severe form of COVID, then doctors might falsely believe, there might be some hope because they've been vaccinated, they would have had produce antibodies and so forth. So it is going to be a challenge with these fake cards circulating and not knowing the true status of the person.
This evening, police investigators are probing a number of other reports about the sale of vaccination cards in different parts of the country. Back to GPL right now. While the Guyana Power and Light Company has indicated that it has the capacity to supply an adequate amount of electricity to meet the demands of the holiday season, it is offering no guarantees that there will be no power disruptions. GPL's Divisional Director of Operations, Barrett Harjon, explained to the media today that all systems are in place to ensure a smooth supply of electricity over the Christmas holidays. But he noted that technical issues and related accidents are possible.
From a generation standpoint, we have, based on you've seen there, we have enough reserve capacity. But where it is located, so like for example, Garden of Eden, we have a 46 megawatts plant there, which is a new plant. We have a 22 megawatt, which is a DP1, and we have another 6 megawatt small plant. But all that power has to find themselves, most of the power, the 60% of the power, find themselves back to the Georgetown, to our control center, and then move up east. So if our transmission line fails for some reason, we're bringing that power to the control center or to fire for distribution, we will have a challenge.
The power company continues to face widespread criticism over electricity supply problems being faced by customers. However, the company has been making millions of dollars in investments to improve its power generation capacity.
There won't be any use of emergency generation equipment this year. We have enough reserve capacity, and this is including base load capacity.
And the GPL CEO encouraged drivers to be extra careful on the country's roadways at this time of the year, since the company has noticed an increase in road accidents that have resulted in damage to its power poles and other equipment.
But in terms of outages, we don't see an exposure on the generation side. Of course, on the network side, we always have an exposure, and that is, Mr. Harjan spoke to, essentially what we find happening around this time is, we got people out there driving and they seem to be targeting the poles. So we have a lot of those, and there's only so much we can do. We really have to ensure that we are ready to respond to those when they happen.
As part of its emergency plan to address emergencies over the holiday season, the power company will be hiring temporary staff members to assist with its response to those emergencies. Guyana and Colombia have signed an Open Skies Air Services Agreement, which will facilitate airlines being able to operate direct services between the two countries. The agreement was signed today in Colombia on the sidelines of the International Civil Aviation Organization meeting. Guyana's Minister of Public Works, Juan Edgel, signed on behalf of the Guyana government, while Colombia's Director of Civil Aviation signed on behalf of the Colombian government. In a statement issued today by the Guyana Civil Aviation Authority, it was noted that through the agreement, Guyana and Colombia have agreed to remove all restrictions on market access, capacity, frequencies, and pricing to create a more open market and to give route rights to airlines from the two countries. Minister Edgel said the agreement is in keeping with the Guyana government's commitment to connecting Guyana with the rest of the world. There are no direct flights between Guyana and Colombia currently, but the Open Skies Agreement puts in place the legal framework that opens the market access for airlines to operate and enhance competitive air transport services, trade, and economic growth between the two countries. 2 months after he was freed of the murder charge related to the death of his wife, with the prosecution admitting that it had no evidence tying him to the crime, ex-police sergeant Colin Bailey has filed a $100 million lawsuit against the state of Guyana. Through his attorneys, Mr. Bailey is seeking the compensation for wrongful arrest, wrongful preferment of the charge of murder, malicious prosecution, wrongful and unlawful detention, and the breach of his rights for protection from inhumane and degrading treatment. The former police officer also wants the court to declare that the indictment against him with no evidence amounted to a breach of his rights to a fair trial and his personal liberty. A number of other declarations are also being sought by Mr. Bailey. Bailey spent over 5 years on remand in prison after he was charged in connection with his wife's murder, although there was no evidence tying him to the 2013 incident. Back in 2016, he was arrested, charged, and committed to stand trial for the murder of his wife 3 years after the murder. Back in October, in the High Court, a jury was instructed to return a not guilty verdict in the murder trial, after the prosecutor told the court that there was no evidence linking the man to the crime. A few days earlier, another man who was also held for the same murder pleaded guilty to killing the businesswoman and did not link the former police officer to the crime, saying he acted alone during the commission of a robbery. The trial judge blasted the DPP's office over the charges against the ex-policeman, saying it was a serious case of injustice. This evening, the Guyana Water Incorporated is reminding contractors of the need to consult with the company before they start their work at building sites in and around central Georgetown. GWI said informing the company is necessary because of the location of the sewer chambers in the city. The company made reference to a recent sewage problem at the St. Rose's High School and noted that the failure to engage the company for guidance prior to the start of construction resulted in sand entering the sewer chambers. GWI said that resulted in a blockage to the sewer lines as far as Camp and Murray Streets in Georgetown, while at the school itself the gully chambers were found packed with sand and construction debris. The situation was worsened by the presence of a large amount of solid waste in the manholes and street sewers. According to GWI, when sewer chambers are blocked, it can eventually result in sewage backup into homes. Contractors could face a penalty and fines for failing to consult the company and damaging the company's infrastructure. Contractors who fail to adhere to GWI's guidelines and policies can face penalties ranging from $15,000 to $90,000, depending on the nature and or magnitude of the offense. Mobile Special and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Sol Guyana Inc. Mobile Special and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Sol Guyana Inc.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
We've got exciting news! All 12-ounce yellow cab Buster are now only $100. Buster, live in
Come
full
get your
color.
Buster $100. Come get your Buster $100.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right. Walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong. Be the one to live right.
I'm feeling it! You know it? That Christmassy feeling? Friend, I'm ready for everything! All the decorations and lights. Bring on all the Christmas goodness! And I heard GTT is giving away millions in cash and prizes for the season. It just doesn't get any better. Multiple draws, multiple chances to win, live radio giveaways of cash, grocery vouchers, phone credit, and more. Free data, free calls, and free accessories with the purchase of every handset. Sign up, top up, pay any GTT bill or purchase a handset to get a chance to celebrate with GTT and MMG. Together we celebrate, together we win. GTT, together we rise.
Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up, fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Oil Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Across the region tonight, the president of the Caribbean Development Bank, Dr. Jean Leon, is urging Barbados and other regional countries to intensify their efforts to reduce corruption. This was necessary, he said, for the Caribbean to reduce poverty and increase economic growth. He made the statements during the opening of the CDB's Caribbean Conference on Corruption Compliance and Cybercrime 2021. The official said more effective governance was particularly crucial at this very moment, when the region is addressing multiple challenges in health, education, social welfare, and economic development. It was also important in the context of increased cybercrime risk, he noted. The official said the Barbados-based CDB viewed development as a holistic process with strong governance systems as an integral element of the region's economic and financial ecosystem. The Caribbean Media Corporation is reporting tonight that Bermuda has confirmed its first case of the new Omicron variant of COVID-19, which has already been detected in more than 30 countries. Health officials have warned residents against panicking. The health minister there, Kim Wilson, said that the active case, one of 31, came in from overseas and all close contacts were in quarantine. The case was identified on Sunday from an arrival test, but Wilson did not say where the person came from. Test results on close contacts have all come back clear for coronavirus so far. The Bermuda health minister said gene sequencing was being carried out on all of the 31 active cases on the island. And finally tonight, international news. The United Kingdom and Canada have become the latest nations to announce a diplomatic boycott of the Beijing Winter Olympics, due to be held in February 2022. On Wednesday, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson said no ministers will attend due to alleged human rights abuses in China, which Beijing strongly denies. Canada followed suit later in the day, also citing human rights concerns. It comes after similar announcements by the US and Australia earlier this week. China has condemned the US for its decision and has threatened retaliation without giving any details. In Canada, the Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, told reporters that the country's boycott will not come as a surprise to China. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley, reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.